Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. Today is June 8th, 2016. Today, I would like to talk to you with respect to NSG. It stands for Nuclear Suppliers Group. So, what exactly is this? So, when it comes to the nuclear supply, it may be used for the developmental purposes or it may also be used for destructive purposes. But in the present age of the world, going for the destruction is always objected. That is the reason why, as long as certain things are used for the peaceful purposes, developmental purposes, there will be no objections. The moment the concept of destruction comes to the picture, there will be objections from across the world. So, in order to safeguard all these things, a group has been formed in the year 1974, and the name of the group is the Nuclear Suppliers Group. And as of now, the strength of NSG is 48. And I would like to talk to you with respect to the NSG. And it was created in the year 1974. And this NSG guidelines are whatever the guidelines that are followed by NSG, they are given by International Atomic Energy Agency, that is IAEA. So this regarding this NSG, regarding International Atomic Energy Agency, all the things that I'm going to talk to you now. But what exactly is the problem with respect to nuclear suppliers group? Why India wants to become a member in the NSG? Why India is not being provided with the membership in NSG? Though India was struggling very hard for a quite long period of time, so to get the membership. And who is stopping? Why China is objecting? Why Pakistan is raising its voice? Why various countries objected for India's actions in the nuclear area? And how come they pacified with the explanations that are given by India? And how India exactly is successfully persuaded the issue and convinced so many other countries in the world, like United States of America. But still, there is a doubt whether India can become a member of the NSG or not. So these are all the things. So we'd like to see now. Is that clear? Now, I'll just open the document for a moment, and I want you to have a look at this. So please have a look at this. So we are talking about the nuclear suppliers group. Right. So this group was created in the year 1974. It followed the explosion in the year 1974 of a nuclear device by a non-nuclear weapon state, which demonstrated the nuclear technology transferred for peaceful purposes could be misused. So this is what exactly happens, and I would like to talk to you with respect to this. Right now, so now let me come onto the screen and let me talk to you. So what exactly happened in the year 1974? So in order to know this, I am going to talk something about India. So because of this India only, so this NSG was created to regulate certain activities. Otherwise, there are 5 countries in the world, so which are considered to be permanent 5 in United Nations Organization, the Security Council, and these 5 nations are considered to be the nuclear weapon states. And when it comes to India, for the first time in the year 1974, when Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, we conducted a nuclear bomb test for the first time. And it was conducted in Pokhran, that is in Rajasthan. That's the reason why it is called Pokhran 1. It happened on May 18th, 1974. And the code name that is given to this particular nuclear bomb test was Smiling Buddha. What exactly is this? So, when it comes to the thinking, talking, and doing something about the nuclear weapons, that was not the first time in India. So, for the first time, the operations were talked and the process was held in the year 1944. India was still under the British rule. So, later, after we got the independence, the first Prime Minister of India, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, so he wanted to develop India even as a nuclear power state. That's the reason why the responsibilities have been handed over to Homi Jahangir Bhabha. You must be knowing this great person, the name you must be knowing. So the responsibilities have been handed over to this person, and they really worked very hard so to get into this. But unfortunately, what happened in the year 1962, there was a war with China, immediately followed by 1965 war with Pakistan, immediately followed by 1971 again war with Pakistan. That's the reason why so many developmental activities in India, including the development of the nuclear weapons, everything has been stopped. So it was a big jolt, in fact. And of course, Homi Jahangir Baba, so he tried his best. Later, it was followed by the so-called Rajmanar, and immediately followed by Vikram Sarabhai. So many people have contributed as far as the so nuclear development is concerned in India. And when it comes to the year 1974, it was Srimati Indira Gandhi, and she was a very very popular leader as far as India is concerned. And so far, she is the only woman Prime Minister of India and considered to be the most powerful Prime Minister of India. And she wanted to make India very, very strong. So, because of our experiences with our neighbors with respect to war, so in order to, so that is the reason why nobody knows what exactly happened during that time. Lot of secrecy was maintained. Even the defense minister was not aware of what exactly is happening in Pokhran. Only the external affairs minister was intimated just 48 hours before the so-called the Pokhran test. So secretly, so this happened during that particular time. And later, what happened? So when the entire world came to know that this explosion, India started trying to convince the other nations that we are doing something for the peaceful purposes and not for the destructive purposes. But later it has been criticized very vehemently, saying that bomb is a bomb, explosion is an explosion, gun is a gun. Whether you shoot someone or you shoot on the floor, the purpose is same. So like this, so many people have commented. So during that particular time, and later in the year 1974, some countries have come together, and in order to put restrictions on countries like India, NSG has been formed. Nuclear Suppliers Group has been formed, and that was a big blow for India. And I'll tell you the story what happened in between. Later, we have come across with that was the year 1998. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India, and on May 11th and 13th, we have conducted five more nuclear bomb tests. This is called Pokhran 2, or this is called Operation Shakti. Kindly remember the names. The code name of Pokhran 1 was Smiling Buddha, and the code name of the Pokhran 2 was Operation Shakti. And both happened in the month of May. First one in the year 1974, and second one in the year 1998. So this is what happened during that time. And and by looking at this, what India is doing, Pakistan also started doing this. Obviously, what will happen in this particular region till that particular time, till 1974, only China is a country which is nuclear weapon state. Of course, its neighbor Russia is also there. That's a different. But when it comes to China, China is a nuclear weapon state, and India has have conducted these experiments. So by looking at India, Pakistan also started doing this. So that is becoming like a competition among these three nations. And since then, China has started objecting more as far as India's activities are concerned. And without caring all these things, India conducted the second Pokhran test that was called Operation Shakti on May 11th and 13th in the year 1998. And it consisted of five detonations. First one was a fusion bomb, and the remaining four were considered to be the fission bombs. And as the days are passing on, India also want to become the part of the NSG so that India can benefit more. So India also can supply. So many relaxations will come to India. That is the reason why for quite long period of time India is pursuing to become the member of NSG. And for last few years, so everything is going in a positive manner. But one problem for India is that objection from China. China is a member in the NSG. As far as the NSG is concerned, the membership for a new country will be given only through the consensus, meaning all the members must accept for the entry of India into this NSG. So there is no doubt. One country that is objecting is Pakistan also applied for the membership. But because of the dubious distinction of Pakistan, Pakistan will not be given. But India may be given because of its close allies with various countries like maybe United Kingdom, maybe France, maybe Russia, maybe United States of America, Australia, and recently the Prime Minister went to Switzerland. So everything is going in a positive manner. There was a little objection from Italy that is also over now. So all the countries are supporting except China. But because of the rules that are present in the NSG, it should be accepted by all the members. But what is the positive sign is that it may be accepted during this month's plenary. When all the countries are accepting, China may also accept. But if the China is really adamant and if it does not accept, India's entry into the so-called NSG may be delayed. China's contention is that when India is a non-signatory of nuclear non-proliferation treaty and comprehensive test ban treaty, India is not a signatory of this. When India is not a signatory and you are trying to provide the membership to India, so when you provide membership to India, why don't you provide membership to Pakistan? That is the argument. That is the argument from China. So if there is any blockade, so any hurdle for India's entry into NSG, that is none other than the so-called China. But it seems that United States of America, the Prime Minister of India had very close meeting with the President of USA, Barack Hussein Obama, and each other they started calling them as my friend. They are just saying like this. So that shows the strengthened ties between India and United States of America. And America has promised that it will talk to China and it will convince China, and India may become a member, and hopefully it should become a member. So this is the brief history. Now I'll show you the points. So during the discussion, whatever the points that are coming across, depending on the necessity, we'll have a discussion. Look at this. The NSG guidelines were published in 1978 by the International Atomic Energy Agency to apply to nuclear transfers for peaceful purposes. Kindly remember that should be useful, that should be used only for the peaceful purposes, to help ensure that such transfers would not be diverted to an unsafeguarded nuclear fuel cycle or nuclear explosive activities. So this is the main intention. Otherwise, if you permit all the nations in the world to go for the nuclear weapons, then where will be the peace? And tomorrow that will lead to the unnecessary conflicts. And if all the countries have started using the nuclear weapons, the whole earth will be completely demolished. Look at this. I am going further. This is one thing very important. IAEA, just now I told you, International Atomic Energy Agency. Is a question for maybe a question. Where is it located? Is it located in Paris, London, Berlin, or Vienna? Answer is Vienna. You must be knowing the locations of all the places. Paris is France, London is UK, Berlin, Germany, and Vienna is Austria. Right? So this is Austria. This is the answer. So kindly remember this. I am going further. Note. IAEA was established in the year 1957. I am talking about IAEA. Present strength is 168. And the basic purpose of this IAEA is to promote the peaceful use of nuclear energy. And India became the member during the first year itself. And the latest country to become the member of IAEA is Turkmenistan. Very recently, in this year only, 2016. Kindly remember, since this is there in the news, anything may be a question. Generally, what they will ask is that, right, so where exactly it is located, or they may ask you, which is the latest country to become a member of IAEA? Answer is Turkmenistan. What is the total strength? 168. And you all know what is the meaning of the word strength. Strength means number. How many countries are members in IAEA? Right? Otherwise, I can say what the strength of IAEA is. Answer is 168. Look at this. The present Director General of IAEA is from Japan. Look at his name, Yukiya Amano. So he's the present Director General of IAEA. Look at this. I would like to talk something with respect to India, as I spoke to you just now. India's nuclear bomb test. It is a smiling Buddha. It's called Pokhran 1. It happened on May 18th, 1974. Remember this. And who was the Prime Minister at that time? Srimati Indira Gandhi. Operation Shakti is nothing but Pokhran 2. It happened on May 11th and 13th. It happened in the year 1998. Who was the Prime Minister? Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. And Pokhran 2 consisted of 5 detonations. First one was the fusion bomb and the rest were fission bombs. I'll just show you what is the fusion and fission. And you must be knowing this great person. I already spoke to you with respect to this great person. Homi Jahangir Bhabha is the father of the Indian nuclear program. Right? Now, please have a look at this. This I have taken from this internet. Look at this. Fission, fusion. So this is the what exactly happens. Right? This is the fission. First one is the fission. Second one is the fusion. Very important one. So generally, these hydrogen bombs are made with the process of fusion. The fusion process takes place in, example, the sun. Right? But lots of energy will be released in both the fission and fusion. That will be really very dangerous. That destroys the whole. Now, look at this. In the year 1992, the NSG decided to establish guidelines for the transfers of nuclear-related dual-use equipment, material, and technology, which could make a significant contribution to an unsafeguarded nuclear fuel cycle or nuclear exposed activity. In the year 2000, NSG participating governments, look at this, it's called PGs, that is nothing but participating governments, meaning the heads of the nation will take part in these meetings. They prepared a comprehensive information paper on the NSG for the 2000 NPT review conference. This. The nuclear suppliers group is a group of nuclear supplier countries. Listen very carefully. This is a group of nuclear suppliers countries that seek to contribute to the non-proliferation. Non-proliferation means what? Proliferation means multiplication. You will keep on increasing the number. Non-proliferation means you have to restrict it. You have to control it. You have to make it zero. Okay, so that seek to contribute to the non-proliferation of the nuclear weapons through the implementation of the two sets of guidelines. One is for nuclear exports and the second one is the nuclear related exports. Is it clear? Now, so when I upload this document, you please read all the points once again. And these guidelines also continue the so-called non-proliferation principle. I told you what is the meaning of the non-proliferation, and that was adopted in the year 1994, whereby a supplier notwithstanding other provisions in the NSG guidelines authorizes a transfer only when satisfied that would not contribute to the proliferation of the nuclear weapons, meaning the countries are very much permitted to transfer the nuclear material, but only when it is satisfied that it will not contribute to the proliferation of what? Nuclear weapons. Next. The NSG guidelines are consistent with and complement the various international legally binding instruments in the field of the nuclear non-proliferation. The NSG guidelines are implemented by each participating government in accordance with its national laws and practices. Who will implement this? Implemented by the participating governments, right? Meaning the government of the member nation. Decisions on export applications are taken at the national level in accordance with the national export licensing requirements. Now we'll see how exactly the NSG functions. Look at this, very simple. The NSG works on the basis of consensus. Overall responsibilities for activities lies within NSG plenary meetings that are held once a year. A rotating chair has the overall responsibility. Rotating chair in the sense, if somebody is the chairman for a particular year, next year it will be going to some other nation. In addition to the plenary meetings, the NSG has two other standing bodies that report to the plenary. One is the consultative group, that is called CG, and the second one is the information exchange meeting with the chairs that also rotate annually. Rotation means what? There is nothing like any election. For 1 year, one country, next year, some other country. Is that okay? And generally, you will come across with this word that is called NSG, NSG Troika. What is this? Troika means here three concepts will come into picture. One is the current NSG chair, that is the country, together with the previous and the future chair. Meaning three countries put together is called the Troika. Is that okay? Very, very important one. Now, so what is the NSG consultative group? It meets at least twice every year and is tasked to hold consultations on issues associated with the guidelines on nuclear supply and its technical annexes. Is that okay? And the next one is the NSG information exchange meeting. What exactly is this again? Please have a look at this. It precedes the NSG plenary during the plenary week and provides another opportunity for NSG participating governments to share information and developments of relevance to the objectives and contents. See here, basically what will happen, so there are so many institutions within the larger institution and all the units will work together to achieve the goal. Otherwise, one body cannot function, cannot perform the functions of the various issues. Next, NSG licensing and enforcement experts meeting. Under IEM, The licensing and enforcement experts meeting discusses the issues related to the effective licensing and enforcement practices. Is that okay? Next, but I want you to read all the points. So when like this, you'll get the basic idea. Technical expert group, that is called a TEG. The 2013 NSG plenary in Prague that happened in Czech Republic agreed to establish a technical experts group which will, at the request of the CG, be tasked with ensuring that the NSG control lists are complete and up to date with the technical advancements. Right? Now see here, whatever I have shown you now, so that is with relation to the so-called working of the this NSG. Fine. So within NSG, we have so many units, and you need not remember all the units, but if you remember, that will be well and good. But for civil service examination, I want you to remember this. Very, very important. Okay. Now, now, before going further, I would like to say something. I would like to say, like this. Yesterday, this UPSC calendar has been released, and I informed you through this our electronic media that for IAS 2017, the notification will be released in the month of February. In February 2017, notification will be released, right? And in the month of June, that is June 18th, the preliminary examination is going to be conducted. From October 28th onwards, you have the main examination. See here, once you know the dates very clearly, well in advance, so you can prepare in the same manner. So you can prepare in the same manner so that you can plan accordingly. So there is nothing to worry here. Because say, for example, this year it will be in August 2016. But in 2017, it is going to be held in June, 2 months in advance. So there is nothing like any panic. So whenever that all depends on the interest of the UPSC when to conduct the examination. And being the aspirants, we should be ready. Ready. So whenever you conduct the examination, we are ready. That is the reason why, if there are any strategies, let you please try to uh, change these strategies in a some format so that you'll be finishing up the syllabus at the earliest and you will be going for the revision. As far as all the strengths in IAS 2017 for me, you need not worry. I'll take care of everything. Is it okay? Next. Next, once again, I'll open the document. The present scenario, I'll tell you, the latest one. Prime Minister Modi is successfully doing all the things. He registered a big win with the members of the Missile Technology Control Regime, that is called MTCR. It's a key anti-proliferation grouping agreeing to India's entry. So when it comes to MTCR, it is almost done. It is almost done, and it is done, I can say. Admission to the MTCR will open the way for India to buy high-end missile technology, also making more realistic its aspirations to buy state-of-the-art surveillance drones from US and such as the Predator. And at the same time, the US backing for India's membership of the NSG will strengthen India's geopolitical clout and help it capitalize on nuclear trade and technology transfer opportunities. Every country in the world will look for the strengthening ties with the United States of America. Right now, India is doing the same, and we are really strengthening our ties. That is the reason why India is very strongly backed by so-called United States of America. That is the reason why. So we look for a positive thing, and India may be admitted to NSG. Look at this next one. Due to China's continuous opposition, once again, due to China's continuous opposition, India will still have to wait a bit longer to break into the allied club that regulates nuclear trade. China has also been insisting that If any concession is given to India, which is the non-signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, the same should apply to Pakistan. China is trying to compare India and Pakistan. This is not what is expected from China, but somehow China wants to go for the objections. That's the reason why it is taking up the issue that is related to Pakistan also. When you are okay with the entry of India, why not with the entry of the Pakistan? Look at this. It works on the principle of consensus and allows a new member only if all existing members agree. New members are admitted largely if they agree to be a part of the NPT, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, or CTBT. India has signed neither. India did not sign NPT, India did not sign CTBT because, in the opinion of India, these two are discriminatory. But yet, India is trying for the membership in the NSG, and hopefully, India will get it. But India is keen on entering the NSG group because it controls nuclear commercial activities and technology transfers in the world. India has the capacity to export nuclear fuel like thorium and supply nuclear technology in the future. So this is not possible for a non-NSG state. Also, the membership will give India an edge over Pakistan, handing it a strategic clout to block Pakistan's possible bid to enter into the grouping. So look at this at the international level. So what type of strategies are being played? Wonderful, is it not? So the strategies are like this. China now it is trying to block India's entry because China is already a member. Until and unless all the members are not accepting, you cannot become a member. Clear? That is one worry for India. And tomorrow, if India becomes a member of NSG, the advantage for India will be that it can successfully block Pakistan forever to enter into NSG. Because once India becomes a member, until and unless India is not accepting, Pakistan cannot become a member. So these are the strategies. So these are the diplomatic steps that are being performed by India. Next, so what China is playing now with India, India can play the same with the so-called Pakistan tomorrow. India's energy application is expected to come up for review at the NSG meeting in Vienna this month. Okay, now look at this. Pakistan has also filed its application, and since it does not have support of major powers, it is unlikely to be taken up. No problem. Pakistan is not going to become a member. No issue. Every country's vote matters. Switzerland and Mexico are very important. But unless China is persuaded, it is very difficult. If all countries at the NSG Vienna plenary meeting agrees, if all countries, I told you what is the strength? 48 is the strength. Out of 48 countries, 47 are accepting, no problem. When 47 are accepting, it is likely that China may say yes to India's application. Right? Next. Today, what happened on June 8th, 2016, today only, India and USA, the countries have disclosed that India had cleared all hurdles to become a member of the Missile Technology Control Regime. All the hurdles have been cleared. Is okay? MTCR, which is a non-proliferation regime. June 6th, 2016 was the deadline for any member to raise objections. In MTCR, the number of countries are 34. Okay, 34 countries are there. And if any country had to accept, the last date for them was June 6th. But no country has objected for this. Is it okay? And one more important point for us, MTCR was established in the year 1987 by G7 nations. Okay, one wonderful question for you. Please have a look at this. Which of the following country is not a member of Missile Technology Control Regime? Out of 34 countries, one country is not a member. Which is that country? Japan, Turkey, Switzerland, or D, China? Answer is D, China. Very important one. Please remember this. Since in MTCR, China is not there, there was no objection, and every hurdle has been cleared, and India becomes a member. Whatever the rest of the things are there, they are only formalities, no problem. Is that okay? And since all the MTCR members are also the members of the NSG, it becomes easy for India to get the entry into that. But for this question, the answer is D. Is it okay? Look at this. As MTCR members also constitute the core of the membership of the nuclear suppliers group, the message to Beijing was clear, meaning the message to China is very, very clear. India has the support of the majority. Possibly all of the NSG members except that of China, which is blocking India's membership with a spurious bid to also get Pakistan, a non proliferator, into the club. In China's intention is to block India. Otherwise, it wants to get Pakistan into this NSG. So these are the things that have happened today. And what do you think? Do you think India will become a member of NSG? India has to become a member of NSG because whatever the nuclear programs we have done, except with respect to some nuclear weapons, India is a country which always fight for, work for, move for the peace. And India is one of the countries in the world which will always work towards the establishment of the world peace. Since India is a positive nation, we are all the Indians who are positive in attitudes. Definitely, India is going to become a member of the NSG, and very soon, so we are going to hear that particular news. Fine, and that's all about the so-called the NSG. And I'll stop at the stage. And thank you so much for being with me this evening. And I wish you all the very, very best. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you.